It is still snowing out there, harder in some areas than in others. We've been talking about these lighter white areas is where it's very, very light snow. The darker bands is where it is snowing a little more heavily. You can see, for example, one from not really so much at the ocean front. It's pretty light up there, but just south of there, probably around Rudy Inlet south, down toward Back Bay Creeds, a heavier band. Then a bit of a break where much of our population is centered here in western Virginia Beach and down into Chesapeake. But then it gets heavier again when you get back to Norfolk, parts of the peninsula. I've taken off the light snow. These are just the heavier bands that we're going to track for you right now. And you can see, as I mentioned, from right about the ocean front there, right where 264 comes in, right not too far from Rudy Inlet, back down here through Creeds, Back Bay, then that bit of a break, Kempsville, places like that, St. Bride's, Thalia, all getting just light snow at this point. Starting to pick up here again, though, in downtown Norfolk as this next batch moves in from the west. Not as much on the eastern shore, but here comes some light to moderate snow across parts of the middle peninsula, northern neck for that matter, back down here into south side on the west side of the James River, and then a fairly heavy band here near Lynch's Corner, bit of a break, and then another one over Reynoldson. So right now the visibility, as you can see, a pretty good distance off there looking to the east, so it's not snowing terribly heavily. It is cold, however. Northerly winds at 16 right now, and a temperature of 28 degrees. The current temperature, rest of the readings, look at all these 25s here. Many spots at 25. Even down to the south, you've now gotten down to near freezing in places like Duck and Moyock, and Portsmouth again down to 27 degrees. So for this evening, snow continuing, temperature slowly falling back through the 20s. By about midnight, snow tapering off from north to south. It'll be a little earlier than that in northern areas, a little later than that to the south. In fact, here we go at 2:30. Still some snow around at that point, but starting to taper off. Those temperatures very cold, 20s, but it'll feel like at least the teens, if not a little colder. Finally, by afternoon, brilliant sunshine, a temperature above freezing. Spots where there's just that thin layer of snow, we should be able to get rid of a lot of it, so that will help. Anything we do have is going to refreeze, though, in most locations tomorrow night as it gets very cold again. Not quite as cold as tonight, but very cold again into early Friday. And then by Friday afternoon, all the way back up into the 40s. So here's the system spinning around. The heaviest snow actually back around Raleigh. We're still thinking 1 to 3, 2 to 4, depending on your exact location. If the storm strengthens offshore, there could be a little bit of a bullseye here somewhere. Lighter amounts to the north. We've seen the heavier amounts back inland. Evan's here now to tell us a little more about the history of this storm.
That's right, Jeff. As we take a look at the storm on radar right now, it's actually not very large, at least not what's left of it. Mainly focused here across the mid-Atlantic and some snow up through New England. That was not the case just 24 hours ago when snow stretched all the way from Canada to Mexico pretty much as they were picking up some snow and mixed precipitation. If you were watching yesterday, Jeff and I were talking about the snow around the Houston area and some of the frozen precipitation, some of the ice, and they had a lot of that icing across the middle part of the country. And then as the storm strengthened off the east coast, we saw that very narrow band of snow become a little more concentrated, larger area, and we've seen some of that heavy snow, especially through parts of central North Carolina. That darker blue color there around Raleigh, back towards western Virginia and into central Virginia, that's the 6 to 12-inch area, and we've already seen reports of 7, 8, 9 inches of snow just west of Raleigh, back through Chatham County and points closer to Durham. And you can see some of the snow that fell right across Indiana, Illinois, around the Evansville area down towards Paducah and Memphis, picking up that heavy snow. And of course, up through the northeast, you would expect areas picking up 12, 18, maybe even 2 feet of snow once you get up closer to that Canadian border. The good news, Jeff, we've got some warmer weather on the way after this, right?
Yes, we do. It just takes a little while to get here. Not tonight. Temperatures around 20 for the low. With those wind gusts to 30 miles per hour, it's going to feel really cold. Tomorrow, 39. A lot of sunshine, though, so that will certainly help, but it will still be blustery. The rest of the forecast is going to go like this. You can see we're talking about 39 tomorrow, 52 on Friday, and then a pair of 57s. That will feel almost spring-like compared to what we've seen lately, and then still almost 60 Monday and Tuesday. So we got about another 36 hours to go through with this cold.
Looking forward to the warm-up.
Yeah, a lot of people are.